All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Panther Nation podcast. And today, again, we're crossing enemy lines once again, and we have Peter Bukowski of the Locked On Packers podcast. Pete, what's up, man? Can I call you Pete? Is that okay?
That's fine with me.
All
What's
right.
going on, guys?
What's up, man? So, introduce yourself. Where can the people find you? Tell us a little bit about your platform, and we'll talk about this game on Sunday.
Well, I mean, if you're a Panthers, Packers agnostic or something like that, and you want to get a little extra Packers content this week, that's great. Locked on Packers, we are the number one Packers podcast on the net, and I also cover the Packers at SB Nation, at Packer Report. I cover the NFL at Pro Football Weekly. So I got a lot of stuff going on.
Yes. Seems like a lot. Seems like a lot. All right. So you guys, the Packers are coming off a loss against the
hmm
Chargers, and please explain to us what happened. I didn't get a chance to watch this game. What happened to the Packers in this game? Because I gotta know.
I saw glances
They
on
didn't.
Red Zone channel because they went back to it very often, but I was kind of stunned at how the Chargers were going at you guys, man.
Well, the Packers didn't show up, and you can't win football games if you don't show up. And it's just, it's one of those things that when you have a team as talented as the Chargers are, I mean, I know the record is not great, 3-5 going into the game, and you think, okay, well, Green Bay 7-1, they should come in, they're rolling, they should just take care of business. That's how I think most people felt about it, and I think unfortunately that's how the Packers felt about it. And Aaron Rodgers talked about it after the game that they didn't come out locked in terms of focus. And it's a reminder that any week in the NFL, and the Chargers, look, Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Melvin Gordon. I mean, they have Phil Rivers. They have plenty of players. It's not like this is some bum team. They have invented ways to lose games over
That's
the
a
last few
fact.
years.
That's a fact.
I need you to do that next week,
And
all right?
well, the Packers, look, the Chargers have found ways to pull, defeat out of the jaws of victory over the last few years, and they didn't do it on Sunday. They looked like the team that went 12-4 last year, the team that beat the Chargers in one of the best games of the year last year. I mean, they look like that team again, and they look closer to that team against Chicago last week as well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers went on a little bit of a run here, finished, with 8 or 9 wins and put a scare into some teams late in the season, even made a run at that last playoff spot in the AFC because, 9-7 could get in the playoffs in the AFC the way things are going over there.
Yep.
So, Green Bay didn't play well. And when you get outplayed, you get outcoached. It's just one of those things that it's going to happen every year to some teams. Basically, every team is going to have a game like this. And what you
Yeah.
hope is that it's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, tell us about it because we just got destroyed by the 49ers a couple weeks ago. So it definitely happens. Yeah, and speaking of the Chargers, I got a little bone to pick with Keenan Allen. I need him to pick it up for fantasy purposes. Not real happy with Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen connection. It's not there this year. So I need them to get that together.
Mike
Just
Williams did all the work on Sunday.
He's been doing the work all season. I mean, it was only 3 catches, but geez. But anyway, so I mean, you guys, I mean, the Packers. This is a huge NFC matchup on Sunday. It's critical for us specifically, just because we play in a division with the Saints, and we need every win possible. With the Panthers, we don't really like talking playoffs yet because we don't really know what we are. We have a backup quarterback in Kyle Allen. We just filmed our entire episode. We kind of got on the playoff discussion, but I kind of shied away from it just because I don't know where we are as a team yet. We beat bad teams, but against the good teams, we don't show up, or we haven't showed up yet this season. Um,
Hey,
with the
don't give us
exception,
all the
with the
facts,
exception,
man.
with the exception of Houston. Okay, Houston, we beat
You beat
Houston. That was a
Houston.
good game. That was a good game. But other than that, I mean, we haven't really, with Kyle Allen at the helm, we haven't really beat a really good team at the caliber of the Packers. Okay, the caliber of the 49ers. We're just the top tier. We haven't beat them. So this is a critical game, a huge test for Kyle Allen. and I'm just hoping we can compete. What's do you happen to know what the weather's gonna be like on Sunday up there? I'm a little
Uh,
nervous.
it's 30 degrees in
Uh,
Rhode Island.
I mean, I mean, the problem with the weather forecast is Green Bay is on Lake Michigan,
Right.
and so even if we look at what it's going to be, right now, it could change. But this is, I don't know if it's good news or bad news considering the way that Carolina plays right now. Based on what I have seen, the high on Sunday in Green Bay is 29 degrees.
Ugh, jeez, man,
That's
that's
good for
cold.
us. We like to run the ball.
We do like to run the ball.
But so, if they're going to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey 30 times, maybe that's the best thing anyway, and maybe that's the best way to beat the Packers. So maybe it ends up working out in your favor, although there's all kinds of records that suggest teams that play, in warmer weather in Green Bay, doesn't really matter what their record is or what they're good at, that when they come to Lambeau and it's that cold, they just don't win football games.
Yeah,
So, it's one of those things. Yeah, high of 29, low of 15.
The
By the
game's at
way,
4
so by
o'clock.
the time
that's insane,
kickoff,
man.
yeah, I was just going to say kickoff 3:30 local. By the second half, it could be sub
It'll be
20
up to 20
degrees.
degrees.
Who knows if the
Jesus.
wind comes out? Kyle Allen. Let's see what you got, my guy.
What school
Nah,
Colorado go to? Can't remember. What school Colorado
Houston.
go
He
to?
went to Houston. He's not a cold
That
weather
doesn't
guy.
help.
Yeah, no, he's not a cold weather guy at all. All right, so let's talk about the game a little bit deeper. If I'm going to draw up a game plan to beat the Packers, obviously you guys gave up a lot of yardage on the ground. Whew, Eckler ran for 70, Gordon ran for 80. It's a lot of rushing yards, and we like to run the ball. Okay, we are a run
hmm
first team. Is that the way to beat the Panthers, or is that an outlier? I'm the Packers, excuse me, or is this an outlier? Or is that an outlier?
I just want to put a bow on the Kyle Allen discussion. He's from Scottsdale,
Yes,
went to Texas A&M in Houston, so
correct.
that's thin blood. We've
Yeah,
got some thin blood
that's a
coming to Green
fact.
Bay.
That's a
Uh,
fact.
but so yeah, I mean this is the move. If you're going to beat Green Bay, you have to be able to run the ball effectively, and that's Carolina's bread and butter, right? I mean, give the ball to Christian McCaffrey and let him eat. Carolina, 11th in rush offense, DVOA. You kind of expect them to be higher up, wouldn't you? I mean, just given how dominant Christian McCaffrey has been over the course of the season. But this offense has not been great for Carolina overall. Probably inconsistent would be the best way that I can describe it based on what I've seen.
That's
And
fair.
you guys have watched it closer than I have. But what you have to be able to do is generate big plays. And if you can't generate chunk plays, particularly in the passing game, Green Bay is going to be able to rush the passer. I think they're going to be able to put pressure on Kyle Allen. I think they're going to come after him. They're going to show him a lot of looks that maybe he hasn't seen. Mike Patton is one of the best designer blitz creators in football. He's going to show Kyle Allen 6 or 7 rushers and might only rush 3, and I bet he gets a free rusher. That's just how this
Yeah.
blitz game has been for Green Bay over the course of the season. And young quarterbacks are going to struggle against those kinds of defenses. The difference is going to be Christian McCaffrey in space. So is Carolina going to split him out a bunch and say, okay, Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage, Will Redmond, are you going to be able to cover him in space? Is it going to be the kind of game where you try and get Christian McCaffrey 35 touches, let's say 25 rushes and 10 targets, and see if he can just single-handedly win a game? That is probably the best way forward for Carolina. On the other side, what we saw from LA was they were able to pressure the Packers. I don't think Carolina has the same quality of edge rushers, and certainly, overall their front is not as dynamic with Bosa and Ingram. But Brian Burns has played well. Luke Kuechly is, one of the best 5 or 6 defensive players in football. So they're going to be able to do some things defensively to slow down Green Bay. But the question for the Panthers is, are you going to be able to score enough on the road with the Packers, Devontae Adams back now and playing healthy? Are you going to be able to slow down Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams? That's, I think, to me, is a bigger question in this game.
Yeah, just to address what you said about the rushing offense, we did run into the Bucks twice. They were the number. I don't know if they still are, but they are the number 1 run defense. That kind of stifled McCaffrey a little bit. this year, as he didn't have much success against them at all. So that's kind of where probably where our numbers dropped a little bit from the rushing game. But so you said a lot there. So from from
Yeah,
a
sorry about that.
no, you're good, you're good. It's great. I was trying to just listen because you said a lot. So the 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 thing I'm concerned about in this game, what makes me the most nervous is the run game, right? So you guys got Jamal Williams, and you got Aaron Jones, two rushers, and we are not good against it. We haven't proven well against the run. It's not good, and it seems it seems with LaFleur that you guys are the different offense. It's a run heavier than it used to be, and that's what makes me a little bit nervous. Another fact that James Bradbury, our number one corner, is a little banged up with a groin injury. Could be a long day if Devontae Adams is on the field. I'm a little concerned about that if he ends up lined up against Ross Cockrell or depending on what they decide to do, Dante Jackson. That's a little worrying. But I will say from our defensive side, I say our edge rushers, man. Our edge rushers are a little. I think that we're a little bit better than you gave us credit for. I think we got a nice little rotation of guys up front. You got Mario Addison, who should be coming back. He had the death of his brother, and we were like what, number 1, 2 up there in sacks. So I think we're a little bit better up front than you give us credit for. I'm not. I don't know that we. I think we're probably better than the Chargers up front. Maybe they got a 1, 2, maybe one player that Bosa's probably better than one guy. But I'd say as a rotation, we can throw a lot of guys
Depth that they
out
have.
there. Yeah, the depth I think helps out a lot. But Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know. He can move around. He makes me nervous. So I don't know, Dave. You got anything else to add to that? Add to that?
I think my biggest, like I said, like Rashad said, my biggest concern is the run game. Um, the fact that you have Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, the fact that I have Jamal Williams in multiple fantasy leagues and I have to make a tough decision whether I want to play him.
You're gonna play him.
But I'm probably going to play him
Yeah,
because
you're
of
gonna
the
play him.
fact that I know we can't stop the run. But passing wise, I think we're going to do okay against you guys against the pass. But now it's just going to be a matter of Kyle Allen, Christian McCaffrey, and the rest of the receivers, DJ Moore, can keep up.
Yeah, that I think you
Like
hit.
the over under for this game is 47.5 points. I think they're going to blow that away between the two of us.
I think you hit it right on the head when you said that can Kyle Allen keep up. I think that's and can we generate enough big plays? It's a great that was a great point because against the Titans we did that. I mean the Titans had a decent secondary. Malcolm Butler, who played well most of the first second half when he got hurt before he got hurt. They have a solid secondary. But we were able to spread the ball around. So we got DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Greg Olsen. Those guys were getting the ball evenly. What I'm concerned about is if we just force feed Christian McCaffrey. If he touches the ball 30 something times, is it forced or is it natural? Is it natural within the offense? We get in this mode where it's just Christian McCaffrey, CMC, 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 and you get a little lost in the shuffle, and it becomes a little bit predictable. So that's where I'm concerned. I'm concerned if we start force feeding CMC, that's not the way we win. I think if you spread the ball out, if Curtis Samuel's getting success, DJ Moore's getting success, then that's going to be a kind of a problem for you guys. I think it could be a problem for the Packers. So
I look at what happened in that 49ers game, and I look at Tevin Coleman, 11 carries, 105 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 catches, and the touchdown. I look at Raheem Mostert, 9 carries, 60 yards. Matt Breida. I mean, the run game was a huge problem. They are last in run defense DVOA. The Panthers are, which actually shocked me as I was going through the numbers preparing for this week and this podcast. And I think when you look at what Green Bay wants to do, a lot of similarities to this Kyle Shanahan offense that they saw. And unfortunately for the Panthers, a lot of similarities in terms of what they can do to Kyle Allen with a secondary that is a ball-hawking, playmaking group. I mean, Kyle Allen threw 3 picks in that game against the 49ers.
yeah,
Wasn't very good. Mike Patton, this is going to be an interesting game from the standpoint of how is Mike Patton going to approach the Panthers' run defense? Because all season he's basically said, look, if you want to run the ball against the Packers, feel free. But what they're going to do is they're going to give up size and strength to say you are not going to beat us in the passing game consistently. We may give up some big plays, but we're also going to get some sacks and we're going to get some turnovers. Sacks and turnovers is how this Packers team defensively has made its bones. Okay, you look at what the 49ers were able to do. 7 sacks against Kyle Allen, 3 interceptions. That is exactly the kind of formula that Green Bay is going to be looking to do. And obviously, look, you get 7 sacks and 3 interceptions against any team, you're probably going to win, right? I mean,
right.
this is not paradigmatic
right.
football analysis here.
Yeah.
But the point is, if you're able to fluster Kyle Allen, get pressure on Kyle Allen, which I think Preston and Zadarius Smith in particular are going to be able to do, I think they're going to be able to show him looks that he hasn't seen. Then that makes it much harder to just say, okay, well, Christian McCaffrey is going to keep getting the ball. I mean, Christian McCaffrey played great against the 49ers. 14 carries, 117 yards. That's 8.5 yards a carry almost and a touchdown. Didn't matter because
not one lick.
They couldn't stop the 49ers and they kept turning the ball over.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. We don't know what we're gonna get with Kyle. Kyle has not performed well against good defenses. So it's just one of those things. If you guys come out, he did look much more comfortable this week against the Titans. Albeit the Titans, they were banged up front, and he was able to pick them apart. But I don't know that he'll be able to do that this week. And again, I have no idea. I'm clueless when it comes to Kyle. He's like, I mean, because you don't know what you're gonna get. I mean, he could play well, but we err on the side of caution here with Kyle Allen. We know that what we saw this week is not what we're gonna see next week. And it's the same. Is he gonna perform like he did against the 49ers? Maybe not, but he could. It's just kind of one of those things. We don't know what we're gonna get, and I just don't know. Dave, you got anything else to add to that?
No, I'm good. I'm just. I need Super Cal to show up. I need 4TD Cal to show up.
We ain't seen 4D TD Kyle since the first game he played.
I know. So that means it's due, right?
Yeah,
It has to be due.
I don't know.
I think we're gonna be able to run on him. I just know that might not be enough. I don't think McCaffrey can do it. I know he's been doing it alone for a while, but I don't think he can do it alone for this one.
And then the cold, it bothers me a little bit too. I mean, those hits hurt. They sting a little bit different in the cold. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll be able to hold up, or Christian McCaffrey himself will be able to hold up with 30-something touches in that kind of weather. I don't know about that. I know I wouldn't be able to hold up.
Well, that's why you're not Christian McCaffrey, sir.
And that's why I'm not playing football too. But all right. I mean, that being said, Dave, do you have an official prediction? We go through this every week. Dave, you've been pretty good. You've been pretty good with your predictions, Dave. What do you got this week?
I like I said, right now the Panthers are 5.5-point underdogs to this game.
That's not bad. I thought it'd be more than that.
Nah, well, we give up 3 off gate because we're coming on the road.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. So in essence, it's 2.5, right? In a neutral field, it will be 2.5. So I think we're gonna be. I think we'll definitely. We'll win the spread from that standpoint. I think we'll cover. I think, man, Kyle's going to have to keep up with you guys. And McCaffrey's going to have the game of his life. And it's a freaking 425 game. So this is like the spot for Christian McCaffrey to have one of those type of days. From a fantasy standpoint, that'll be the hammer game for the late game. I think we're going to blow away the 47.5 over. Man, we'll win, but it's going to be close.
Dave, you are
30-27.
Man.
30-27. Look, man, we have to win this game this week, man. We have to win.
Man.
I'm super biased for this one. I'll admit that.
But you've been calling them pretty good, Dave. I'm not gonna lie. But Pete, do you have an official projection for this game as far as win-loss?
An official projection is tough. So I do a little bit of modeling. I have a point model that says before all the information from the weekend. I haven't rerun it.
Okay, that's
that
fair.
The Packers at home should be like a 6.5 point favorite. Now they lost. Carolina won. So 5.5 probably seems right. It probably 5.5 seems right to me. I like it right in that range just because I think Green Bay, I mean, they've been one of the best running offenses in the league all season. Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams have been awesome. And Matt LaFleur said, look, after the Chargers game, they got out of their game plan. And I think you're going to see a concerted effort to say, Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, we're going to rely on you. It's going to be more run the ball, play action, deep shots, and try and create passes down the field that way. I think that's a winning model against this team. I think at home, off the loss, Aaron Rodgers is awesome. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but just take my word for it. They're really good.
I believe you.
You don't have to.
I know.
Yeah.
When I saw you guys get beat up by the Chargers, the first thing I thought was, why now?
Yeah.
I'm serious. Cause like we got to play you guys.
So,
I'm like,
what I said on Twitter, like the last time the Packers got punched in the mouth like this against a team that outcoached them and outplayed them, 2.5 quarters later on the road in Dallas, they were up 31-3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how this team has responded so far this season, and that game started a run where they won 4 straight games without their best skill player. So, I mean, I just think that speaks to the quality of the character on this team, the quality of the coaching and the leadership on this team, and I expect them to come home ahead of a bye week where they have to play the Panthers the following week and just be locked in a way that they weren't against the Chargers.
All right, Dave. So with that news, do you want to change your prediction? It looked like you want to change.
well, I was nervous about 30-27. I'm going to stick to it. It's just I know.
Be a man and stick to it.
Oh, I'm sticking to it. I'm rolling. I just know how the Packers are after a loss.
Yeah.
Like, just like he doesn't have the numbers in front of him, I know what the Packers look like after a loss and coming home. So this could be, I could be completely wrong on this.
Yeah, and
my fantasy lineups will be prepared as such.
That's a great segue because Dave, I think my official prediction I think we lose. I think it's too much for Kyle, and please, I hope I'm proven wrong. But every week I come up here and I think I'm more of a realist, man. And listen, I'm thinking I think we lose to the Packers. I'm gonna go 30. I'm gonna go 30-23 Packers.
That both are over.
Yeah, 30-23 Packers.
47.5.
I think we'll try to come back. I think they'll get up big, and we'll try to come back towards the end, and it'll be just too late.
Like McCaffrey's going to have a heck of a day.
I like 27-21 for the record.
27-21.
The under.
Nice.
27-21 is the over.
Is it? Is it 47.5?
It's 47.5.
All right, 26-20 in the under.
You think the under, man? I don't think it's going to be under.
It's cold, man.
It's a late game.
I think it's going to be under. Yeah, it's going to be cold. I like the under.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Does the Packers score less when it's colder? Give us some type of red hope.
No, the road team scores less when it's colder, my dog.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, that being said, Pete, hey, listen, we thank you for joining us last minute. I know I hit you up today. And shout out to, I think it was the APC podcast. They referred us to you, and I really appreciate you. Listen, I know how tough it is to kind of coordinate and create time for this kind of thing. So we greatly appreciate you joining, and our listenership greatly appreciates it as well. So once again, thank you. So you can go ahead and outro yourself one more time. Let the people know where they can find you, and we'll wrap it up.
Mash that follow button on Twitter, Peter_Bukowski. You can listen to the podcast Locked On Packers. Follow me on Ackley Packing Company, Packer Report, Pro Football Weekly. We got a Locked On Packers weekly mailing list with all kinds of cool stuff in it. So if you want to get that stuff this week, especially, it's going to come out on Thursday, so you get all the Packers content for the week. You can sign up for a week, and that's it. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get this out before Thursday, just in case.
That's great.
Yeah, so that being said, again, we appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, like, and all that good stuff. And we will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.